And as the slowdown drags on at those West Coast ports, one sector is most at risk: retail. We may learn more about the extent of the impact when retailers begin reporting earnings next week, including the world's biggest, Walmart. And as Courtney Reagan tells us, investors will pay close attention.
Consumers may be looking forward to ditching winter coats for spring apparel, but retailers are having trouble getting that spring merchandise in stores. As disputes over labor contracts continue, the West Coast ports responsible for nearly 40% of all U.S. cargo are shut down for a second straight weekend, which means merchandise is stuck at sea or in containers, far from the intended retail destinations.
I see some stores that are out of balance, still featuring what I'll call winter and holiday goods, when at this time of year, that should be relegated to the back racks on sale, and the front should be all fresh new merchandise. So the balance isn't right.
Target, Best Buy, Michael Kors, and Ralph Lauren are among the retailers that have brought in orders early to protect inventory levels and are using other points of entry and distribution to get merchandise into and through the country. Container volume at LA, Long Beach, and Oakland ports dropped 25% or more in January from the year prior. But despite the lower volume, the Journal of Commerce says some West Coast shipments that normally take 2 to 6 days to unload are now taking up to 3 weeks. Circumventing West Coast ports helps get merchandise on the shelves, but it comes at a cost, up to $7 billion this year, according to some estimates. Getting cargo from Asia to the East Coast takes longer and adds to expense. Air freight is also more expensive, both backup plans crimping profit margins. As retailers reroute goods from Asia to East Coast ports, Stifel analyst Richard Jaffe points out overflow is now putting those ports at max capacity.
A doomsday scenario, if you will, is that the product comes in late, the season is therefore shortened, retailers have to accelerate sales using discounts, the consumer perhaps benefits with discounted prices, but the retailers suffer because of a short season and greater discounts.
Credit Suisse says brands with diversified points of distribution, including Nike, Tumi, and VF Corp, should be more insulated in the short term, while Lululemon and Deckers could suffer more because of concentrated West Coast distribution. So while contingencies are still working to avoid a material impact on business, if an extended shutdown or strike occurs, industry-wide consensus is no retailer will go unaffected. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Courtney Reagan.